of the law, please.
Yes? A question that would make more sense if I had approached you and not the other fucking way around. Whatever. Silas Green. I work in hospitality, let's say. Something of that nature, yes. I've come to Prim in the hope of establishing a den of vice and debauchery with the end goal of rolling in the fucking profits. My arrival was ill-timed, what with those convict cunts running roughshod over the citizenry, but they've been dispatched and life can resume anew. I suppose for a start I'll need to start rounding my people up. Whores, chem suppliers, an ocean of liquor. It's always something, I suppose. And no. First off, gambling is the one vice that Prim already enables. Competition breeds resentment, and a full-scale casino would be a great deal of work. Also, I harbor an acute loathing of those cheating grifters that run that filthy operation. Smug little shits. The fucking lot of them. Last time I played, that smirking cunt flipping the cards pulled a 21 on me the very first fucking hand. And then the second, third, fucking fourth. On his fifth consecutive perfect hand, I surpassed my tolerance for bullshit, and so I introduced his dick to a 44 slug. Cheating cocksucker. I disagree. If anything, I believe I was quite lenient with that smirking fuck. After all, across the entirety of the wasteland, it's generally accepted that the proper response to robbery is to kill the thief where he stands. That motherfucker was running a rigged game at my fucking expense. Letting him off with just a castration is an act of mercy, I say. I suppose you could come in handy. The more assistance, the better, I say. Assuming the assistance isn't fucking inbred, which I trust you're not. I'm going to be renovating one of Prim's unseemlier ruined storefronts, but before that can happen, I need building materials. I've heard tell of an old-world construction site up the road from Novak that may well have the materials I require. I'll have you check it out. Go there, see if there's anything useful. If my source is correct, there should be a big shipping crate full of lumber just sitting out in the open. If that's true, slap this beacon on it, and I'll send my associate, Eli, to retrieve it for me. Much obliged. Now, please, get the fucking lead out.
Careful. They got spies all over.
motherfuckers trying to tamper with our fucking crate.
Like that?
Crate crew.
Had enough? Come on.
Howdy.
I see my little GPS beacon lit up like a fucking Christmas tree, and right where that construction site was meant to be. I've dispatched my man Eli to retrieve the lumber. Backbreaking work, no doubt. However he achieves this task, I don't much give a fuck. In the absence of any actual materials to work with, I've at least started renovations by boarding up the sole remaining window. Let it never be said that I'm unwilling to sweat over my own goddamn projects. No, really. If anyone implies such a thing, I'll put a bullet in their skull and think nothing of it. Now that's a fine attitude to take. The next step is to build up eager anticipation for the eventual grand opening. I've already gone about formulating a quick and dirty two-step plan that you'll be facilitating. Step 1. Accrue goodwill by performing a service for the greater Mojave community. Step 2. Enlist an unbiased third party to spread word of the soon-to-be thriving business right here in good old goddamn Prim. For the act of benevolence we'll be gifting the community, I've set my sights upon a murderous zombie lurking between Prim and the Mojave outpost. As near as I can tell, what with the dearth of information surrounding this ghoulish fuck, his name is Jimmy, and he's about 80% feral already. He mostly holes up in a cave some yards away from that rest stop down the road. When he emerges, he does so with axe in hand, flanked by ferals. Cutting his head off and asking for nothing in return could only serve to ingratiate the prospective clientele, surely. So, that's what we'll do. As for the second part, I've put together a little propaganda package, and I need you to deliver it to a traveling merchant named Jameson. He owes me a favor, and he's rather nomadic, meaning he can spread word of my business far and wide. So, kill the ghoul, then deliver this to him. He should be at the Mojave outpost, so it won't be much of a trek to reach him once you've killed that fucking zombie. So, adios, and I'll be busy counting your payment for when you make your speedy and triumphant return. And
right there, fuck pump. Bet you thought you heard the end of the crate crew, huh? Well, you were wrong, loser. We don't ever forget someone who goes around putting their filthy hands on our goddamn crates. You're marked for death, mother humper. Any last words? First you defile our crate with your filthy touch, and now you suggest that it ain't even a big deal? You disgust me. Boys, kill...
Hey there.
Something happening? Oh yeah. Was wondering when I was going to get this. Hope you don't want me saying anything too goofy. Oh, this isn't bad. Alright. I'm heading up towards the Iron Town. But I ain't taking the quick route. Going to take as many detours as I can. Figure I can stop, sell some wares, buy some essentials, and now, gossip about this fancy new Prim saloon. Easy enough. Huh? Oh, Independent Township, a bit to the west and a lot to the north. Way I hear it, place is full of ore mines and old world factories. A lot of untapped old resources for enterprising folks, you know. Where it is, a bunch of NCR folks set up shop, working the mines and repairing the foundries. Struck by iron fever, the lot of them, I say. But there ain't no law to speak of up there, and they ain't got any ground fit for crops or livestock. They need food. Jameson got food. I might not be some starry-eyed fool wetting himself over old world metal, but it don't take no genius to see that that place will make a smart man rich. Well, he's an old friend of some of them bishop folk, back west around Reno. And the bishops, well, they're tight with the bureaucrats back in Shady. Basically, his buddies spoke to their buddies who spoke to their buddies, and it all ended with me getting some choice prices on goods from the hub. A lot of crap that won't do no good around civilized parts. But those brave fools on the frontier will pay an arm and a leg to grab it up. Take care of yourself.
Yes? Brilliant. And while you were away dealing with uncouth corpses that lack the common fucking courtesy to die when they start rotting, Eli returned. See? We're already getting to work on making this ruin into something resembling an actual habitable building. How fucking nice for us. Now, as you may have gleaned from your dialogue with Jameson, he'll be off delivering unrealistic praise of my joint to all who will listen. However, he won't be in the state of New California to sing my praises, and California is where the whales are drifting, so to speak. I need advertising that'll really appeal to the masses back west, and flowery text on paper simply won't do to hold their attention. Mouth breathers. No, I need a commercial, and I need it to be seen by a wide audience of exactly the sorts of lonely degenerates that will pay to play with titties. Oh, don't give me that fucking look. I won't be needing you to be doing anything in front of a camera. I've already got everything filmed. Were this commercial an epic that would make Shakespeare weep up in heaven, assuming he's a movie fan, I would gladly cast you. However, this commercial is just 15 seconds of a topless hooker telling everybody to head to Prim and give me their cash. Nothing fancy. Not to suggest I won't be gleefully sticking film director onto my resume, because I absolutely fucking will. Well, see, I don't want to pay for distribution rights. I'd rather this lovely little advertisement simply find its way to the eyes of my audience. If my film were to simply fall into the middle of someone else's pre-cut, pre-edited footage, and if there already happens to be a studio here in the Mojave that primarily distributes to California, and if... wait... Oh, fuck it. Vague euphemism isn't how I fucking speak. Look, there's a porno studio near North Vegas Square. I need you to go there, find something they're about to distribute, and stick this holotape somewhere in the middle. Easy. One caveat, though. Right now, we're being fraudulent cheapskates. When our act of espionage is discovered, nobody will care. They would care if our commercial came with a body count, so please avoid murdering the studio's security people. If you do, I'm docking your pay. Right, so here's the footage. Don't lose it if you'd be so kind. Off you go now. Remember, don't kill any of the guards.
What was that? What was that? Maybe I'm just jumpy. Who's there? Come on!
You like the sight of your own blood?
Yes? Good for you. Risking life and limb all for a chance at forcing advertising onto an unwilling public. Why, the old world would be so proud of us. However, in a shocking turn that would horrify and enrage those old corporate ghosts, I reiterate that I don't want innocent blood spilt for profit. That in mind, you didn't happen to murder any of the studio security, did you? Excellent. While I've no doubt that the warm, fuzzy feeling of not hurting anyone is surely reward enough, here's some payment all the same. Getting the equipment necessary to keep a steady stream of liquor a-flowing the direction of my happy little enterprise. To make a long story charmingly brief, there once lived a talented moonshiner in the little shanty town of Cottonwood Cove. Alas, when a gaggle of murderous men in skirts descended upon the region, my associate was forced to leave his equipment behind. I have it on good authority that those faux Roman fucks broke it all down into base components and tossed it into a box in a storage cavern. So, find the cave, find the box, bring it right on back to me, and we'll be that much closer to living the financially stable fucking dream. Oh, yes, and recall how I didn't want you murdering those innocent security guards at the porn studio? Well, the Legion are a crew of raping, pillaging, slaving, mindless marauders, and I don't give a good goddamn if you kill every last one of them. Happy motherfucking hunting.
Halt. Only men of the Legion are permitted entry into this cavern.
There you are. Had enough? You like that? Put that... You'll pay for that. There you are. There you are. You like that? Another kill to my name. Had enough? Like that? Another kill for my name! Come on!
Oh, why hello there. You must be the one helping Silas with all the tedious minutiae of establishing a business. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Please, call me Molly.
Yes? Grand. I'll take that junk off your hands and put it into the hands of people who know how to produce vast quantities of cheap liquor for me to sell. Here's your pay in the meantime. Yes and no. I have some plans in place, but right now I'd like you to assist the pretty lady sitting nearby. She's going to be managing the whores once I have this enterprise off the ground, and before we go any further, I'd like for her to be appeased. Once that's done... Yes? Prim allows for some small bit of gambling and food options, but where are all the facilities where men of low character have their vices satiated? If anyone in the vicinity yearns for booze, drugs, or a rendezvous with an accommodating set of tits, they'll have no choice but to turn to me. And you'll note Prim's proximity to the Mojave outpost, the pearly fucking gates out of the Republic and into this rich and untamed frontier. Meaning, I'll fleece the cocksuckers as they traipse to Vegas from their stifling pissant nation, and then again on their dejected journey back home. Hell, if I do a good enough job the first time around, they may not even wish to head further north than my establishment. Or...
Do you need something? My role is quite simple, really. I will manage the services of the escorts working here once construction is completed. I have a touch more experience in the sex trade than Silas, you see. Plus, it's not unwise for him to employ me as something of a buffer. There's something of a tendency for people to look askance at alcoholic middle-aged men running prostitution rings. Folks love to assume the worst. Personally, I've known Silas long enough now that I'm convinced he wouldn't exploit his employees, but how many people are in my position, Oh, absolutely. I have a job I think you'd be well suited for. If for no other reason than how ill-dressed I am for traipsing about the desert. If we're to run a successful venture here, we need a wider variety of professionals to cater to any possible desires our customers may possess. And if in the process of hiring these new employees, we happen to undercut local competition, well, who could possibly object? To that end, I'd very much appreciate it if you could make a trip to Sloan. It's come to my attention that a young woman has recently moved in. It's a clever move, as she's the only local accommodation that those poor quarry workers have to turn to. No doubt she's making a healthy profit. Myself, I'd prefer that those gentlemen take the extra effort of coming here when they have an urge, and paying us for the pleasure. And if we can acquire the services of a clever escort to pad out our own roster, all the better. To that end, I've drafted terms that anyone with sense should find agreeable. Please, deliver them to the escort in Sloan. And hope she's literate. Wouldn't it be nice if that were the case? I'll freely admit I'm something of a perfectionist, and the notion of any possible competition irks me somewhat, so keep that in mind. But as it happens, there's a little outlaw haven by the name of New Rockwell that isn't overly far from Prim or the Mojave Outpost. I have it on good authority that those Hellions have their own brothel. Not to suggest that they're the sort of clientele I'd like to cultivate. But competition is competition. And I've no doubt that Silas and or Eli can keep any customers well behaved. Oh well, it is what it is. Of course. Don't let me keep you.